Gervase, I'm very happy to speak with you here on the World Appreciative Inquiry Conference in Nice. And I'm talking with you as one of the leading researchers or also consultants in the area of appreciative inquiry. And you have actually been studying generativity as part of appreciative inquiry. Can you explain what generativity actually means?
Yeah, what it means to me is has to do with it's the capacity to generate, and that has two pieces to it. One is the production of new thoughts, new ideas, new innovations, right? And that comes out of an idea that the most powerful force for change is a new idea. And right, so typically when organizations or groups are stuck or they're not making progress, it's because they don't know what to do. They need a new idea.
Yeah.
So what are the forces? What are the kinds of processes? What are the sorts of interactions that help a group of people generate a new idea? And the second thing about generativity is that it generates action. So that there's something about this idea that's compelling, it's attractive, it makes people want to do things. You know, I mean, one of the pieces of magic about appreciative inquiry is most of the time when you bring people into a room to talk about things, they're already super busy. They got too much to do, they got too much on their plate. And but by the end of a well-designed appreciative inquiry, they're volunteering to do new stuff. Right.
So what is the magic that happens in between then? Between coming in with a too busy agenda and in the end?
I think, well, fundamentally, you know, the inquiry has to focus on stuff that's intrinsically important to people.
Okay, so people have to have a connection with the purpose that they are gathering for.
That's right. Yeah. And that's why I spend so much time at the front end focusing on purpose.
Yeah.
And do we have the right purpose? And I found the most powerful purposes are these ones I call generative images.
Yeah.
Right. Where you are able to capture a purpose that that's short and sweet. Right. It's short enough, I'll hear it, I'll immediately remember what it is, and it's sweet. Yeah. It's attractive, it's compelling.
It's something that you want.
I want, you know, so when I'm working with my clients, I say, we have to figure out how are we going to invite people to come to a conversation. And we need to frame it in a way that is so compelling that they would be willing to crawl over glass to come to the conversation, right?
Crawl over glass.
Crawl over glass.
Okay.
And if we get that, the rest of the process will work by itself.
Yeah.
So that's a generative image, right? And so that's a part of what I think about. Then I think there's a generative process, right? So there's generative potential, there's generative processes. I think appreciative inquiry can be a very generative process. I think there are other processes that can be quite generative as well. I don't think it's in the recipe.
No.
Okay? I've done appreciative inquiries that were very not generative.
So what have you noticed? What is the difference when you look at not so effective appreciative processes and very effective or generative appreciative processes?
I would say fundamentally it's do we have the right purpose?
Okay.
You know, and
the right process.
Well, yeah, and so, you know, this telling stories to each other sort of thing. You need to think about what sort of question will be generative for this group of people. Right? Like the most not generative appreciative inquiry I ever ran was for a group of construction engineers. The contract was, we want to build a leadership model, and so we had these guys interview each other on their best experiences of leadership. Well, none of them had a best experience.
Okay.
The stories were pathetic.
Boom, you know. So how were you actually able at that very moment to improvise something else?
No, it was terrible.
Okay. It was
the
terrible.
Whole thing
it was a good learning experience. Yeah.
Okay. It was so, you know, so part of it is also, I think, you know, at the front end, how are you designing this, and who's engaged in the design, and do they really understand what's going on with the target population? And which is one of the good reasons to have a diagonal slice design team. You know. So I have to make decisions in the client system of, do I really trust these managers understand what the people we're working with really care about? Because they'll always, you know, the managers have a problem, they have an issue, they have something they're trying to solve. That's why they're calling in a consultant, they want to do something. We need to take that whatever that issue is, because usually it's a technical, something, we want to make more money, like who cares,
Yeah.
But take what's the underlying issue here and figure out how do we frame that in a way that really captures what people care about.
So actually people have to emotionally commit, be able to emotionally commit to that purpose. It's not about money.
Yeah.
It's not about...
Yeah. This is what Cooper Rutter's been writing about recently with this idea of mirror flourishing. Like, his argument is, you get people in an organization to focus on something something going on outside the organization that they all really care about.
Yeah.
And focus on trying to make the world a better place in some way or the other.
Yeah.
And the act of doing that is going to have all these ripple benefits that will return and improve performance and operations and these sorts of things. Now, I think he's right about it.
And now I also think that you bring in another element that creates generativity, namely that people genuinely have the feeling that they make a difference, they contribute, they matter in the process. So in a way they are acknowledged in their contributions. And we all want to matter, we all want to contribute.
So in the kinds of, when I'm doing an appreciative inquiry or any sort of a generative intervention, what I'm focusing on is I want to create a series of activities and interactions that are going to allow a disparate group of people who have a stake to interact with each other and find the people who have similar concerns and similar ideas and similar motivations, so that they can get together and they can come up with what it is they want to do.
Yeah.
And unleash them to go do it.
And that is what you also told in your keynote speech, the importance for leaders in a way to create that space for experiments to happen, to be executed.
That's right.
And not to in a way interfere in a way that is frustrating.
That's right. That's right.
Probing.
A lot of people who do appreciative inquiry, it's more of a strategic planning kind of thing. Like, you get to the end of it and you have a set of aspirations or that sort of thing, or a document that says this is what we want to be, and then the leaders take it away and they go do something with it. Nothing inherently bad about that, but I don't find that usually leads to a whole lot of change very rapidly. But if you want to get really rapid change, just unleash people after that to go do something with it. So they're doing what's inherently meaningful to them, what they think's important, what they think's going to make a difference in their own little world. You run a whole lot of little experiments, and you tell people, we're not expecting you to succeed. We just want you to try, and we're going to learn. And so, for me, a very generative change process is a learn-as-you-go process, as opposed to most planned change processes where there's an attempt at the front end to figure out what's the right answer, what's the right what's the right technology, what's the right organization design, what's the right product mix, whatever, and then go after it. The generative change process is when it says, we really can't predict that ahead of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to try as many little fail-safe experiments as we can, see what works, and then we'll get behind that and then we'll scale up what's working.
And that is what you meant with the metaphor yesterday, or the day before yesterday, in your keynote speech. First shoot bullets, then bring in the
cannonballs. Yeah, cannonballs, that's Jim Hanson's metaphor.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I guess we have to get to the next workshop round. Pretty briefly, I really want to thank you, Gervase,
yeah, my pleasure,
with sharing some of your insights, and it has been an honor.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, good luck with your work.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a wrap.